Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video day, and today we're going to be talking about a potential trade to land Jimmy Butler with the Houston Rockets. I came up with this trade last night while stuck at home, bad weather in Houston, weather we only receive once every 4 years with snow. It actually has been every 4 years. We had it in 2017, we had it in 2021, and now we have it in 2025. But sitting stuck inside had me with not a lot of great basketball on, because with Martin Luther King Day yesterday, all the basketball on was early. So there was one game on late, and then an early slate of games at like 7, but it was like the Clippers and the Bulls. I really didn't have that much interest into it, and I had watched a lot of basketball earlier in the day with the Rockets playing and then other teams on. So I didn't really want to watch basketball. I was with my grandparents, and they had on the Wicked movie, which I was a little interested into it, but it's a long movie. It's 3 hours, and I got bored a lot throughout that movie. So definitely went through a lot of potential trades for the Rockets. Definitely went through some potential trades that I will not be talking about in this one. But I thought this best trade for the Rockets that I came up with while the Wicked movie was on was this one right here with Jimmy Butler to land in Houston. I think it probably, out of all Jimmy Butler trades, for Jimmy Butler to go to Houston or for the Miami Heat to get rid of Jimmy Butler, this one makes sense to me, at least. And I'm going to go over what it looks like. And it's a 3-team deal. It's not the Rockets and the Heat. It's the Rockets, the Heat, and the Raptors. And this just made me thinking a lot, because my whole thought process all started when I saw this article of like top 10 NBA trade players, and like the top 10 NBA players that are going to be trade targets, and where the best landing spot for them was, and the number 10 or number 9 guy was Bruce Brown, and the best landing spot that they thought Bruce Brown would end up, and this was an article in Bleacher Report, was in Miami. And we had heard some stuff about the Raptors potentially wanting to facilitate a Jimmy Butler trade. And this just made me start thinking about it. How would that work? Like, how would you get Bruce Brown to Miami? Toronto jumps into the trade. The third team gets Jimmy Butler. And you start to think about who that third team could be. Is it the Rockets? Is it the Suns? Is it the Warriors? Is it the Mavericks? And I went on Trade Machine and started building out what I think would be a deal to land Jimmy in Houston, Bruce Brown in Miami, and obviously the Raptors, jump in and get what they want. And here's the deal I came up with. The Rockets get Jimmy Butler. The Raptors come in. Obviously, Bruce Brown's headed to Miami, but the Raptors get from the Rockets Jeff Green, Jacques Landale, Aaron Holiday, and they get some draft picks in this trade as well. They would get a second-round pick from the Lakers, which is Miami's pick. They'd get a couple second-round picks from the Rockets. And then here's what the Heat get for Jimmy Butler: Bruce Brown, Dylan Brooks from the Rockets, and a 2027 first-round pick from the Rockets. I actually wouldn't mind the Rockets giving up Dylan Brooks, because since Amin Thompson joined the starting lineup, Dylan Brooks is not playing good basketball. And I don't want to see Amin Thompson removed from the starting lineup, because everybody else plays better basketball and Amin Thompson is in the lineup, and he needs to stick there. So I actually wouldn't mind Dylan Brooks getting traded for Jimmy Butler. And you're thinking, oh, Jimmy Butler is a terrible contract. You're basically trading one terrible contract for another. Because at this point, if Dylan Brooks is going to play offensively like this when Amin Thompson is in the starting lineup, yes, he has great defense, and yes, I think he's a big voice of this team, but he doesn't have a lot of value outside of his defense and his voice and the leadership he has. Is that worth over $20 million a year? No, absolutely not. You can get Jimmy Butler for a season or two and come in and be the star next to Şengün and Jalen Green. So, but I would love this trade for the Rockets. And I actually think it's probably one of the best deals that the Heat can get for Jimmy Butler. The Heat said they want a player or two who can come in and help the team right away to be a more successful team, because they feel like if they can get a player or two that can help the team, then they can be competitive. And that's what you're doing. Not only are you getting 2 players who can help the team be successful for this Heat team, but you're also getting a draft pick. You're getting a first-round pick with Bruce Brown and Dylan Brooks. Just go over what Dylan Brooks and Bruce Brown have done. Dylan Brooks this season, yes, he's had his struggles this year, but Dylan Brooks this season has had a solid season and is good defensively. He's a good shooter, and that would be a good asset for this team. And then you want to go to Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown, he hasn't played that much this season, averaging only 7 points per game, 18 minutes per game. But you want to look when this guy plays. I mean, last year, Indiana playing a little bit as a starter with 33 games, 33 starts, only 29 minutes per game, averaged 12 and 5 with 3. With Denver, he was great with 12 points per game and 4 rebounds per game. And he's a great defender. You're improving a lot defensively because Bruce Brown and Dylan Brooks are good defenders. So, and then you're getting a first-round pick with Brown and Brooks. I think it would be a good trade for Miami. For the Rockets, with what they're getting in this potential deal, you're getting Jimmy Butler, 6-time All-Star, 1-time Steal champ, 5-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Defensive Team, and the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and a guy who steps up in playoff time. Look, if the Rockets want to take down a Thunder team, this current team, I don't think you can take down the Thunder, and I think you 100% have a better chance taking down the Thunder if you have a playoff performer like Jimmy Butler on your team. 100%. You have Jimmy Butler, a playoff performer on your team, next to Şengün and Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet, Men Thompson, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr. This team definitely has what it takes to be very successful. And I think if you had Jimmy Butler, this Rockets team, there is no other team in the Western Conference that has a better chance than this Rockets team to take down the Oklahoma City Thunder than the Houston Rockets. I'm not saying they would take down the Thunder, but as good as the Grizzlies are, as good as the Nuggets are, as good as some of the other teams in the West are, no other team would have a better chance in the West to take down the Rockets, to take down the Thunder than the Rockets if this deal happened and you add in Jimmy Butler to a young team. As two young stars like Green and Şengün, a great facilitator for this team and Fred VanVleet, and also a great defender and facilitator in Men Thompson with bench power like Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., and list goes on. So let me know your thoughts on the potential trade for the Rockets in the comment section, and peace out.